Thank you for joining me for the Curriculog tutorial on the Academic Program Intake Form, which is Curriculog Form number 2. You're going to start by navigating to Curriculog. You can do that through your AP One Stop under Faculty Services, or you can just go to apsu.curriculog.com and it'll take you to the login page. You're going to select Login from the top right, and you're going to use your single sign-on credentials to log in. Once you are logged in, you should see a My Task or My Proposals tab underneath the ribbon with the Curriculog logo. Either one of those tabs will have a filter by, and then to the right, a blue button that says New Proposal with a plus sign. To get to the forms to launch your proposal, we're going to select that New Proposal icon. You're going to navigate to form number 2, Academic Program Intake. Hover over it and go to the right and select the check mark to start your form. Now that we have started the form, you'll notice it looks kind of like a split screen. On the right-hand side, when you're looking at your computer, it'll show you the approval steps for each person who's going to have to review and approve the proposal before it gets completed. On the left side is going to be the actual form where you're going to work. This is a program intake form, which is most often used for new concentrations, new programs. So you're not really going to be able to import much into this. Even though that icon is available, you won't use that. So you're going to start by going through and filling in your asterisk items. So I'm just going to pretend like we're developing a master's in national security studies. So I'm going to select the Department of Criminal Justice. I would select my level, which for this purpose is going to be graduate. Depending on what you're doing, it could be undergraduate. For a program type, I'm going to do a major, and I'm going to call it National Security Studies. And then I'm going to give the justification. So why do I think we need this program? How is it going to be beneficial to Austin Peay? How does it tie to the mission? Just a couple of sentences about that there. Then you're going to say when we want to implement it, and we're going to implement this in fall of 24. And then down here, you're going to fill in what's appropriate. So for this proposal, I'm initiating a new major, but you could be doing a concentration, a minor, or a certificate. If you're doing a certificate, you're going to have to tell us, is it at an off-campus site? Is it 24 or less, 24 or more? Because that's going to change what you have to do. There's also joint and dual awards. We do not do those. Typically, cooperative arrangements. Essentially, what this form is helping with is determining if this change is going to trigger a substantive change with SACS. So if approved, are we going to have to send something to SACS, and how is it going to impact your proposal? Is it going to add approval time? Is it not going to be a sub change? So that's really what we're looking for here. We also have this available if you're doing a new off-campus site, and certain changes to current programs. So if we're changing a degree designation, if we're merging, if we're elevating, if we're changing the hours, SACS does also have to be notified if we're adding a delivery method. So if we currently have a program that's only offered face-to-face and we want to add online, we have to do that. That's going to trigger a sub change. So in activating or terminating a program, SACS looks at these the same way, even though we do not, nor does THEC, and then some additional. So you would pick the most appropriate response for what you're doing. If it's a site, you're going to give us the address, who owns it. Then for any change, you're going to give us a brief description of what we're changing and why we're changing it. Total hours of the program. Master's degree has to be 30. A bachelor's program has to be 120. A certificate needs to be a minimum of 9 to 12, depending on if you're doing graduate or undergrad. And then if we have anything similar, you're going to tell us about that. And then you're going to tell us if we need any full-time faculty. What are the types of credentials that they would need? Have we credentialed them before? How many new courses are we adding? If we have any existing courses that could be used maybe as electives or requirements. Then we're going to list the names of the programs, any library resources. We're going to have to give us all that information because all of these things go into determining if this is a sub change. Any estimated costs, so like when we developed the speech language path, we knew there was going to be costs associated with it. You would put that in there. If there's going to be any type of grant funding or outside funding for your program, when you think it's going to go through UCC, that's just an estimated guess. So like for December 2022. when you want to admit your first students. So if we're wanting to launch in fall 2024, we would want to admit for August 2024. Same thing about offering your classes. Do we have any MOUs based on this? So are we doing it in compliance with the military? Are we working with somebody? And will it be in education? So if this were going to license somebody to teach, we would say yes. If you're not going to gain any kind of licensure to teach, it does not need to go to TEC. Then you're going to give us a listing of the courses for the proposal. That can be attached. Sometimes it's easier to do that. If it's going to be attached, you could just put C attached. And then it's going to give you a list of things that need provost and UCC. Then it's going to give you some information about things that align to the substantive change policy. You can even link to that substantive change policy on the SACS website if you want additional information on that. And so then you're going to down here answer, does this need to go to the provost or the UCC? Yes or no. That completes your form. So then you're going to want to validate and launch. Again, it's going to take a moment to make sure you've filled in all the asterisk items. If you have, you're going to get this white screen that'll allow you to launch. If not, it'll give you an error message that will say you're missing things. You can click show me, complete those, go back, click validate and launch, and then you should get this screen. We're going to click launch proposal. This is now live in Curriculog so people can see it. You can still work on it at this point because it still belongs to you, but others will be able to see it. Once you're ready for it to go on to the next approver, you're going to navigate over and you'll see these little icons on the right hand side. Go to your decisions icon, which is your blue check mark. You're going to select approve and then make my decision. And once you do that, that is gone out of your queue to the next person and it is good to go. Thank you very much.